Oh, you see Colorado.
We just travel.
Nano Wax is
from Chicago. So we go to Chicago a lot.
All right.
Yeah, that's where we met. You know, a lot of the people with the group. You know.
All right. So it looks like the group, the Reminders, is close to many different organizations who struggle for a better social situation and the future of the hip hop culture. It is your motivation to go further with your music, or do you separate the artistic and the social work?
I feel like it's all a part of it. It's all a part of who we represent, whether it's the music or the social work. The social work is reflected in the music, and the music also helps further that work.
Right, the music carries us to a place where we can do the work, so that we come to Brussels to do a performance, but in the meantime we're connecting with the community and connecting with different people and talking about the issues that are affecting people in Brussels, and talk about the lack of the things that they're lacking, the things that they're gaining, even coming to the space today. So many conversations lead to more conversations that lead for more opportunity to work together to build things in Brussels and in the States.
The music, each artist has, an icon somebody is looking at. So if you have the chance to collaborate with somebody in your music, who?
Most likely for me, it would be different producers. Producers like YEZIR who make big sounds, or a lot of different producers. For artists, I feel like we have a pretty good collaboration going right now.
Yeah, if we could collaborate with anyone ever, I would pick Bob Marley.
Alright, nice.
When nobody's by your side, I'll be, and you can count on me. I'll be there.
You already have a few albums out, a few videos out. What's the future of Reminders?
More albums, more videos, and just more fun around the world. Traveling more, spreading the message, and just more.
The reason we want to get more successful is so that when we come into spaces to do social things, it matters more. Our presence has more of an impact because of what we've achieved. So when we come into communities, we can have the respect of just having achieved some type of success that people can benefit from us.
You're never gonna separate yourself artistically.
I don't think so. It's so much a part of who we are, so it's just us being us. So if I see something going on in the street that is not right, just because I'm a performer that people see on the stage, I'm not gonna think I can't say anything because people will recognize me. Or I say, hey, cut that out, it's wrong. Don't do this, or I try to interact with somebody because that's who I am. So I'm not gonna get, and God willing, I hope that my humility and my success go together. I hope that if I lose my humility, then I lose my success too, because then I shouldn't have it. You understand?
You got 3 kids together?
Yeah.
The future of Reminders?
They're already started.
They already tried to snatch the mic.
Yeah, they in one song. And they're singing in one song.
Yeah, we call them mic snatchers.
Alright, really nice. Assad, you seem to work on the field. You have, many projects. Have you met any controversy in your mission through the years?
There's been a lot of different controversy because we use art to bring communities together. We use art, music, dance for social change. So anytime you want to change something, art makes people uncomfortable. But that's our job as artists sometimes, is to make people uncomfortable, to make sure that things can change. So there's always controversy around that. People think you shouldn't be doing something, people think it's wrong for social reasons, religious reasons, political reasons, but that's part of our struggle. And anybody who's down with hip-hop culture knows that that struggle is real, and that struggle has to be done so we can accomplish something bigger.
What has been for you the most difficult challenge in life?
I think the most difficult challenge for me is trying to have a vision and bringing it to people and connecting people together. It seems easy, but it's hard to lift up everybody together at the same time. So everyone needs money and everyone needs resources, but we fight over those same things because we're all kind of in it together. So as good as it is, I really wish that everybody was successful, everybody around me and everybody I can touch, and we can all make this together. But unfortunately in the world today, there's a lot of competition and it becomes really difficult.
So you already talked about it, but in a way, more precise, what has been the most successful project for you?
That's a hard one. What's the most successful project? Well, I'll tell you what I'm really excited
Meeting the reminders.
Well, I'm really excited about two things. I'm really excited about the reminders because we're family, and when we travel together and we do this work together, we have the same mission. So it's not just about the music, you know. If I happen to be the DJ or whatever, we're still doing something together. The other thing I'm really excited about is Words Beats and Life, which is a 14-year-old hip-hop nonprofit in Washington, D.C. And we're doing a lot of good international work now. And the organization exists to be bigger than itself, to really connect folks that are working in hip-hop and make sure that they're bringing solutions to communities all over the place. So that's a really exciting thing for me to be a part of right now.
You know, we listen to your music and we know that you follow the path of, you know, conscious rap. We know that, you know, you're looking for putting some, you know, spread the word, spread the knowledge. Right now, the situation in the States has known to escalate to the violence, you know, police brutality, misunderstanding, with the danger of separation between the different people. What is for you the direct action or solution right now in the States with the situation that we know today? Yeah.
I mean, I think there's lots of answers to that question. I think the most important answer is imagination. So when we're thinking about the way the systems don't work, the solution isn't to say, well, we don't need systems. The solution is actually saying the systems don't work. And how can they work in ways that actually serve communities as opposed to power? And I think that part of that is about shifting how we think about who has and is power. So as an example, I live in Washington, D.C. It's literally the most police jurisdiction on the planet. There are 29 different police departments, all for one city. And one of the things that happens is even for small crimes, police have a tendency, from my point of view, to over-respond. So if you get pulled over for a traffic ticket and you don't appear to be in the quote-unquote right neighborhood, there might be 3 to 4 police cars that pull up. But my question is not, why are the police pulling up in 4 cars? My question is, why is crime so low but there are still so many police? My question is, if there are 4 police cars, do any of them have a social worker in the vehicle to actually talk about putting people on the right path? My question is, are police just there to police people or control people, or to actually combat poverty as a form of violence? And the answer is, we have to encourage and change systems to impact our lives in ways that are better and more just and equitable.
So right now you're living a strong situation because the election is coming, you know, in a few months. Do you have any thought about it? Do you know what to do? Because we got 2 different people who, you know, running for presidency. And
I mean, I think the number one thing is that we have to change the way we think about elected officials. So a lot of times people talk about people who get elected as leaders, and I don't think of elected officials as leaders. I think of them as managers of resources that belong to me. And by me, I don't mean me as an individual, I mean me as a society. And so when we talk about the role of presidents' jobs are to establish visions that we work towards. So how are we as artists, as managers, as citizens, influencing the way that people manage our resources? I think that's really the challenge. And that happens on a national, on a local, on a regional, and on a global scale. And on the global scale, that involves artists having conversations with people around the world about what's happening in their lives and how they want to see change. It happens with artists talking to their families and their communities about what's happening and having that be reflected in the art. What I love the most about the Reminders is that they do 3 things from my point of view in almost all of their songs. One, they bring experiences back to the individual level, whether that was being bullied or challenged or discouraged as a young person, and then how it is that as adults, they actually aspire to be more than, in some instances, what they were encouraged to be. And every human being on the planet, to some degree or another, can relate to that. 2, they ask you to be hopeful about what's possible today as an adult. And there's not a lot of music that encourages you to be hopeful today. And 3, they unabashedly show their love for each other as a family, as 2 artists, as 2 human beings on this planet working to make a difference. And that, to me, or for me, is their power. And encouraging and showing other artists that you can do that. That you don't have to be corny to be positive. That you don't have to give up your integrity to have the things that you want and to be the things you want to be in the world. And I think that as an example, they are powerful. Powerful beyond even their understanding of their power.
I think that's a wrap. I think there's nothing else to say right now. He had the last word. Thank you so much. We hope that your tour is gonna be, dope for the rest of the date. I don't know where you're going, guys, but we wish you all the best.
Shout out YEZIR.
YEZIR, that's right.
Trouble.